State. Sir, this is your jury. You may proceed when ready.
Thanks, Judge. May it please the court, counsel for the defense, and my esteemed colleagues. Ladies and gentlemen, jury, one more time, I want to thank you for your attention over these long, hard 2 weeks. And I know it was tough, and I know that being sequestered is tough, and I get that, and I thank you for it. I first want to talk about the silliness of sudden passion here. Sudden passion, I'll tell you what that is. Sudden passion is like, let's say that you're a woman, and you come home, and your spouse is in the bed with another woman, and you're angry, you go get a gun, and you kill your spouse. That is sudden passion. It's not what the defendant testified to up here yesterday. Mr. Gill alluded to that the defendant followed procedures, that he was cool, calm, and rational. And this nonsense about how it was a split-second decision, no, it wasn't. He had his mind made up as soon as he started running up that hill. He had 9 seconds to assess that situation and decide what to do. There's no sudden passion here. You can forget about that. The law on that, sudden passion means passion directly caused by and arising out of provocation by the individual killed or another acting with the person killed, which passion arises at the time of the offense and is not solely the result of former provocation. What provocation? They were backing up away from Gross. They were trying to get away from them. And then when they finally started going straight, they turned to the left to try to get away from them. There's no sudden provocation. And then you also have to find that there's an adequate cause. That means a cause that would commonly produce a degree of anger. Did you see any testimony about that from Mahler? No. Rage? No testimony about that. Resentment or terror in a person of ordinary temper. So none of that. There's no sudden passion here. What we do have, and what I alluded to in some of my questioning, we have Jekyll and Hyde. In the Robert Louis Stevenson novel about this, Dr. Jekyll was a good guy. But from time to time he would lapse and he would become Mr. Hyde, and he would go around stomping people to death and killing people. And that's what we have here. We have to protect society against Mr. Hyde, the defendant, Roy Oliver. So what sentence are we asking you to do? We're going to give you a specific number. 20 years per child. That's 100 years. Basically a life sentence. But, if you want to give him credit for his military service, you can do that. If you want to give him credit for the fact that he doesn't have a criminal record, you can do that. 20 years for each of those. But don't you go below 60 years. It's at least 60 years in this case, and that's what justice demands. I submit to you that this was practically inevitable. The defendant posted the most preposterous thing I've ever seen in my life. I will never in my life be as good at anything else as I am at killing people. He wanted this to happen. And he lied to you and told you it was a repost. It clearly says on Exhibit 287 Alpha, it says, cover photos. He is bragging about his love of killing. And if you give him some weak, limp sentence, this is bound to happen again, because this is what the defendant likes doing. It almost happened on April 16, 2017. He pulls a gun on 2 ladies at Cockrell Hill in Keys. How do you know it almost happened? He goes up to a Dallas police sergeant and says, it could have been a lot worse. Who says stuff like that? There was another police officer from Bolt Springs who came in here today, I think, and said, well, yeah, sometimes people might want to say, and I'm going to say the word because it is what it is. They might want to say, I don't remember the fucking question. Well, I've been doing this for 40 years. I've never heard of such a thing. This guy is dangerous. He's out of control. He's angry. And if you don't protect society against him, it's on you. And protecting society here means a minimum sentence of 60 years. So that's one reason to give him that, his dangerousness. And the other one is for this poor family over here who have to live the rest of their life without their kid, without their brother, who don't get to spend Christmas with them or Thanksgiving. Those guys like to go to the beach. They don't get to do that anymore either because of him. Shot it in the back of the head. Cold-blooded murder. And only by the grace of God do we not have 5 murders that night. And think about that. Think about the fact that those young men, those other 4, are going to have to live with this memory for the rest of their life. They're going to know they watched their brother and best friend die in front of them. You heard the terror in their voice when they were being backed out of that car. Please don't hurt me. Please, please don't hurt me. My brother, he's dead in there. He's dead. They're going to have to live with that for the rest of their lives. So those are the 3 reasons. In Iraq, from time to time, I had to go to funerals of soldiers. And in Iraq, the soldier funerals go like this.
This is completely outside the record.
Objections over, go ahead.
Funerals go like this. The sergeant major forms up his men and his women. And let's say that they're having a funeral for a dead soldier named Jordan Edwards. And the sergeant major will call out names. And he'll call out Darrell Washington. And Darrell Washington will say, "Here, Sergeant Major." And he'll call out Odell Edwards. "Here, Sergeant Major." Charmaine Edwards. "Here, Sergeant Major." Odell's dad. "Here, Sergeant Major." Then the 5th soldier will be Jordan Edwards. "Jordan Edwards." No answer. "Jordan Edwards." No answer. "Jordan Edwards." No answer. And taps will be played. And everybody's head is down. We want justice for Jordan. We want you to protect our country against this man, against his angry, murderous spree. At least 60 years, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.